We begin with an important message for air travelers out there. Starting tomorrow, thousands of flights could be cut across the country if the government shutdown goes on. A source has provided CBS News with a proposed list of the airports impacted by this, and you see them highlighted there on your screen. It's all across the country. These are the busiest transportation hubs. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says these 40 high-volume areas will have their air traffic cut by 10%. Officials say it's a proactive measure amid air traffic controller shortages.
They're working longer hours. They're working more days, and that's some of the pressure that we're seeing on them, and we want to alleviate that pressure before it would become an issue.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand joins us from the White House with more. Natalie, this is a serious decision and restriction of air traffic. Help us understand some of the reasoning explained by the Transportation Secretary and how it's going to hit travelers.
Yeah, well, sources tell CBS News that the cuts are expected to be phased in, so 10% not all at one time, but phased in starting Friday and then continuing through the weekend. But our transportation correspondent, Chris Van Cleve, reports that this decision kind of caught the airlines by surprise, and they're still waiting for a final order, details about how this is all going to work as they try to scramble to make plans. And they were already expecting a potentially higher travel volume this weekend heading into the Veterans Day holiday next week. But ultimately, the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, says that the cuts are necessary to try to relieve some of the growing pressure on these air traffic controllers who have been working without pay since last month due to what's now this record government shutdown. Already, we've seen long lines and delays and disruptions at a number of airports around the country due to some air traffic controllers having, to call out of work amid the shutdown. And as for what to expect, if these cuts start taking effect on Friday, travelers could face cancellation. Some estimating it could be thousands of flights nationwide each day based on the volume of flights in the U.S. And also cargo planes could be impacted. So that could also impact the movement of goods and packages across the country.
And we're going to get into some of that later this hour. Natalie Brand with the latest at the White House. Thank you. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers remain deadlocked over ending the shutdown. And fresh off election night wins, Senate Democrats aren't backing down from their demands.
Stop the bull. Sit down and talk to us and end the health care crisis. Stop coming up with all of these excuses.
CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small joins us live from Capitol Hill with the latest on these negotiations. Good morning, Taurean. So we know that the president met with Republican senators yesterday, gave them some instructions based on election results from Tuesday. What was that? And what is the new perspective from Democrats after some of their wins?
Yeah, good morning, Errol. So the president gave his marching orders to Republicans, saying that now is the time to pull the trigger on ending the filibuster. That is a request or a demand that is sitting uncomfortably with quite a few Republicans in the rank and file membership. What we heard, though, from Democrats on the Hill was that they're a bit optimistic about their chances for some type of resolution coming sooner than later. Our team talked to Senator Shaheen yesterday, and she said that while she doesn't have a timeline yet, and she's not too sure if something can happen this week, she is certain that based on where conversations are going about their demands for these healthcare subsidies, she's sure that they could reach some type of agreement soon. This is what Democrats and Republicans had to say yesterday to us.
Unfortunately, we've seen a lack of presidential leadership. It's a my way or the highway approach. That's the reason why Republicans have shut the government down up until this point. But it's not working for the American people.
I think we should talk. I think we should find a way forward on this. But it takes two to tango here. I mean, have a conscience that we've got to do something like today on this. And I couldn't feel more urgent about it.
Democrats also told us yesterday that it's remarkable to them that the president still hasn't had another conversation with Democratic leadership since that first meeting at the White House ahead of the shutdown. It's unclear whether or not that would be a game changer and a quick solution, but they're still advocating for the president to talk to them, Errol.
And Taurean, the president suggested Republicans should end the filibuster in order to pass things with a simple majority. How are they responding to that?
Yeah, nearly every Republican our team talked to on the Hill yesterday said that that's just not an option they're willing to consider. Senator Tom Tillis says there's no way he could see himself being moved to that. Other senators told us that that's just not an option that they want to put on the table. So then Democrats can use against them once they take, or if they were to take over the majority. Again, right now, Democrats are looking for some type of conversation that would install these health care subsidies in a continuing resolution. We're also looking at the deadline of the continuing resolution that came from the House. November 21st is the cutoff there. So we would be going through this all over again. Republican leadership on the Senate side said that there will be a procedural vote if they do find some type of meeting of the minds with Democrats to extend that date. Others are asking for at least a year extension, but we'll see where we land on that, Errol.
All right, Taurean Small with all the latest from Capitol Hill. Taurean, thank you.